I'm trying to find the amount of energy it would take to say this episode was necessary. I'm sure there was a plan and action when they did this, and then, you know, not to be the grand finale, not to eliminate somebody, Hey, we're going to give these kids every episode in the world. We don't know what's going to go down this year. Let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, okay. I wish last night was like the grand finale. I wish. But I did not get my wish. Let's go ahead and get into it. Cue my theme music.
Listen. Yeah. Yes, God. Get that out of there.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Do me a favor and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Become a part of my Rent Pack family. And for those of you who are new, what's up, Puss? And for those of you who already been the Rant Pack, listen. Hey babies, how you doing? I love you. Let me get my social medias out the way and let's go ahead and get into this week's episode. And I promise you, it ain't gonna be a long one. You can find me at Matty Rants on both Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, where I am bookable, as well as the Stereo app. And there may be an announcement coming soon. Who knows? And you can also find me on Twitter at @MattyRants. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, please and thank you. It's Cash App, $MattyRants, Venmo, Matty-Rants, and PayPal.me/MattyRants. This week on the panel, our special guest will be Wilma Fingerdew. That's Sunday from 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm not going to bash this episode. I'm not bashing it. I'm not going to drag the sucker. I'm not covering Untucked because I am tired of going to see 30 minutes of just flat. And this is just for me. I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for you. But let's go ahead and get into this week's episode. All right, so Olivia Lux was eliminated from the competition. It's a top 4. Everybody's so excited. I can't believe we got here. Okay, how many wins do you have? I got this many. I got this many. I got this many. You got... Okay. It's a competition. So we've shifted on over to the next day. The queens are happy to be there. RuPaul then comes into the room in this yellow and flowery kind of suit. There is no mini challenge here. It's just straight on to what we need to know. Hey, y'all are going to be working on a song. It's called Lucky. Okay? It's by me. It's new. You're not going to like it. No, I'm just kidding. Well, a lot of us didn't. Some of us enjoyed that number. It was very Hairspray, Broadway sort of tease. They have to create their own lyrics. They have to work with the choreographer, that is Jamal Sims with his fine self, thank you God. Create their own verses, work with choreography, and this is all to be performed on stage. Category is, for the runway, drag excellence. I want you to remind yourselves of what the category is. Drag, okay, plop. Excellence. Excellent. Because, my God, some people didn't get the assignment once again. But Matthew, it's because no one's having to fight for roles, as this is basically about themselves, and they must create lyrics that are going to give you what you want when it comes to Lucky. And no, I'm not talking about Britney Spears' Lucky either. Trust me, I'd have been very happy to have heard that last night. Trust. No. Instead, children, we're getting a master class of how you can fit in an hour and 30 minutes, a lot of talking about a lot of journeys, and then have a few moments of rehearsal. And then moments of then we get to find out even more about these babies, where we have been with these children for, girl, it's been since January. It's been since January. We are in damn near May now. It's April. I know we're still early April, but it's damn near May. I'm now saying it because we've gone past April 1st, so we're almost to May. It's great to hear people working on their lyrics and having a good time with this. To me, it was like Rosé's got this one because Rosé is really really talented when it comes to songwriting as well as singing and presenting themselves on stage. Everybody else too can have their moments. It just depends on the confidence factor. But a lot of this episode was a relaying of how these queens have felt throughout the competition. Candy with the way I talk, the way I do this, how they make fun of me, my actions are perceived as always aggressive and angry, but I'm celebrated here. That has been the entire season of every narrative moment for Candy having that, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm like, when I say baby, I've heard it all before. Like, it's very Sunshine Anderson, very that song. Like, Jesus. And what got Mick this episode, there were a few moments that could be considered very triggerable. Lots of moments tonight. RuPaul in particular, I'll get to that moment when she pulled out the photo, and it was like, we got permission. I said, baby, would she have said this? Okay, continue. Simone in the struggle of acceptance. There's just a lot that's going on here, and Rosé climbing from a position of almost being eliminated first, and now the track record is real. Okay, so that's just where this episode is going, everybody. I'm not trying to be like, oh, Matty didn't care. No, it was a rehashing of a lot of episodes in terms of the narrative of, this is the person who's fighting for the crown. They may be the winner. That narrative. Now, they do a Tic Tac lunch, of course, during all of this, or in the middle of this here, and RuPaul and Michelle get to speak to every one of these contestants here. Forgot Mick, here's RuPaul. So, you transitioned around this time, and then you got top surgery there. Tell us more. I'm sure RuPaul was being respectful, but of course, we've had a lot of history with this situation with Ru, so it's kind of like... Like, girl, did you just really run up in her face? Like, what's up? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When that happened, I was like, whoa, chill out. But again, Gottmik seems very comfortable having this conversation and being able to express themselves. There was definitely a point of narrative this episode to let us know RuPaul does not hate trans people. RuPaul is a fan. RuPaul is... It was very... I'm not trying to... See, now I sound rude, but I'm also like, that's just what it felt like. It was like, okay, we're covering a lot of bases this episode. There we go. We get to Candy. RuPaul just giggles. They even told they told her dress was ugly. I was like, did you forget the other looks that we need to discuss? Again, a moment of celebration that Candy is someone who would not be perceived a certain way back where they're from, or how they grew up wasn't the best, and now everything's being celebrated. Check. We get to Rosé. Rosé, you've come a long way. Actually, we learned a little bit about Rosé that I don't think we got during the season, during that Tic Tac lunch, and it was pretty good to hear stuff from Rosé. I've become a fan of Rosé over the season, as well as got Mick. I don't have a hate for Candy. I actually like Candy. I think Candy would be dope outside the show. To me, I think what my issue with Candy is whether... And I hear you're already typing. You're not listening. It's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and say my point here. It's like they took Candy and just did this. Like, and not that it was Candy's fault for doing that, because Candy's just being themselves. It's more so... production did this with me. So it's like I didn't get a chance to like sit back on her. It was, no, she's running the show. So it's like, oh, okay. But I didn't know Rosé lived in Houston. I was like, oh, bitch, you out in my hometown. Work. Live. Love stuff like that. And of course with Simone, I was here for RuPaul's conversation about... Let me tell you about your inner saboteur. Almost like RuPaul knew Simone in a sense. Like, I know who this baby is. I've been this child. So let me give you some tea. Let me give you some of this update. You know what I mean? Also, there was a lot of moments of crying crying, Matty? Crying. Well, a squinted face happened often this episode from Mother. And there was a couple of pumps of air coming out of that, soap dispenser. I didn't see any soap, but there was some air popping out that sucker, But it was a serious moment later on when she started to get emotional. But again, it was Is it the filler, sister? Is that what's happening here? There's no water ducts left up there? I don't know what was going on. It felt very her. So the Tic Tac lunch again is almost like a rewind of how they feel, because we're gonna get another rewind again when they get to the main stage. That's why I kind of felt this episode was a little like, oof, girl, we've already done this before. Let's just get to the performance. Let's watch that, then judge, and then tell us what's gonna happen. Like, ah. And again, if I missed anything, honey, we're gonna cover this on the panel. I got a bunch of other babies that are gonna be there, trust. As far as choreography is concerned with Jamal Sims, hey Jamal, looking fine as usual, brother. That just okay. Uh, Everything that happened during choreography was expected for me. It was very that. Simone, we're gonna give you something a little simple, because we know you don't really boom cat like that, darling. Oh, there's a little trouble there, but if you just Simone it, you'll be so fine. You'll be so fine. It'll suffice in the Simoning of it all. You just need to Simone it. Candy, the last time we did this, oh no. This time, we're gonna give you something that's all up your speed. I said, okay, that we could do this. We get to Got Mick. I'm starting to think that they playing with this baby, because that was straight up this Tina Belcher moment as we speak right here, that I can't even do that with my own back. Like my body wouldn't allow me to be out of looking like that. You know what I'm saying? But that again was rehearsals. When we get to the actual performance, it looked completely different. I could have swore a golden egg was gonna fall out his ass. I was just waiting for it. Rose, girl. Okay, Rose was actually pretty fucking great. Like, just for the rehearsal sake of it all, up until we got into something that added a little spice, a little salt, as Simone said, some seasonings onto Rose. Because girl, low key, she was given something that was not Mama was supposed to add. And when you saw the choreography later, they took that whole part out for her. They just made her just do a little shuffle back, because they were trying to get her to throw a little stuff. And she was like, I don't know, what is this? I was tickled. Oh, I was tickled. I said, she lived in Houston. She lived there. That's it. She didn't pick up none of the other stuff. I'm sorry. But it was fun going through rehearsals and just seeing how they're all like, ooh, girl, how's this gonna play out? There are moments in between this time, everybody, again, this is like the final round. Like, oh my God, so much is at stake here. I fought my way to be here. I hope I make it. This is so tough on me. And then of course there's that, what did you think of me when you first came into the room? And of course everybody has their moments like, I was nervous, or, oh, I knew what I was getting when I saw you. Simone had me crying though on Rose. I'm sorry. The whole girl, I thought this baby over here was some unseasoned chicken, some uncooked chicken, child. And I realized, bitch, you got the flavor. And that happens sometimes when you first meet people. You don't know if they vibing or not. And then you get to know them. It's like, oh, bitch, you come on, sis. But this is the episode, everybody. Let's go ahead and get on to the performance itself, and then I can get to this runway, and then we can talk about this lip sync, child. And the result of tonight. The performance for Lucky was actually decent. I liked the performance, everybody. Now that song, we were given Lucky, but I didn't feel so lucky after the song. That's not my cup of tea. I'm not into that kind of mixture of music. It's the nicest way I'm going to put that. I really just don't care for it. I did like the energy of the song. Does that make sense? Yeah, I like the energy of it. I just didn't really care for the hairspray production moment, or the bang bang into my room. Like, it was very bang bang, very that. Very hairspray. It had this little Broadway-ish moment, but like maybe like off-center Broadway. I don't know, honey. To me, I didn't really care for the song. Not too much. But I felt where its references came from. Now to these performances, though. Got Mixed served. Was enjoyed fully the entire routine. I was here for the choreography. I was here for the lyrics. I enjoyed Got Mixed performance. I thought it was there. I was like, okay, bitch. Also, did the lighting seem a little weird to y'all when we were watching this? And I know they were trying to, I guess, make it so the color scheme of what their outfits was a highlight moment for them, but not put a light on their face. So it seemed like some people were like in a shadow, like through half the performances. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too much. To me, it was weird with how they did the lighting. Like it was almost right. Almost right. And there were other moments too when the lighting was off and like they had the big sign Lucky or whatever. Something about that whole transition seemed a little messy, but other than that, I was here for everything. Candy's performance. It feels like I'm not allowed to say anything about her because then we're haters. It's like, I enjoyed the physical aspect of Candy's performance, choreography and the routine. I did. I thought she did a good job with that. I did not. There, listen. Okay, I'm gonna say it, girl. I cannot understand a bowl of spit half the time. I really can't. So, Mama was. I just didn't understand half the stuff that was coming out of her mouth. I'm just being real, and there, that's that. Man, it was difficult. I did like her physicality and her performance, though. She did what she was supposed to do. I was there for that, but Rose also did a good job too. I thought she was clean. I enjoyed the lyrics and the performance. I was here for Rose tonight. I thought Rose did a damn good job. And then Simone, you know what, Simone? Hey, they gave you limited choreography. It worked for you best. Okay. Now the way the lyrics went at first, I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Because it's like, it was like, what is this? What is this? I'm not getting it here. But when I rewinded back this morning, I said, oh, okay, I got a little flavor, throw a little slice of something. To be real, they still weren't my favorite lyrics, but I enjoyed the aspect of it. I thought to myself, they did a decent job between all four of them. They did a decent job, but this just was not my favorite musical moment from the show. No, it was not. That was the performance. Let's go ahead and get to the runway. Category is drag excellence. We'll do the judges first. RuPaul has given us some gams for this last episode here. But I would like to say, RuPaul, I did like the dress. I am going to gather you, sister, for your wig, though. And I'm going to tell you why. Matty, how are you going to gather RuPaul for her wig? Because it was pushed all the way back. It wasn't even on the forehead, sis. She was back here. That's the starting point of the race. It's like they gave her some sort of, all right, bitch, you're going to have to sit back for the first 5 seconds of this 100-meter dash, and then you can go. Like, RuPaul in this wig is giving me a shotgun house. The kitchen's in the back and everything else is in the front. It's just bare. There ain't no furniture up here. All of it's in the back. I did think that RuPaul looked beautiful. I just thought y'all could have done something better y'all could have put that wig a little bit forward. You could have just pulled her a little bit front and center. That's all I was asking. Michelle looked lovely, and Ross and Carson were there. Suits and all. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and get to this runway. We already got the category, so we already know what's T. First up is Got Mick giving us, everything. Bish. This is one of my favorite looks from Baby Got Mick. I almost forgot to mention that Michelle gave her that, and it was actually kind of it worked for me too. Baby Got Mick. Yeah, this look was everything. I have nothing wrong. Not a single thing. It was Cruella de Vil meets a poodle. 101 Dalmatians meets glory holes. I love the silhouette. I love the way it was presented. I thought this was so phenomenal. And for this to be a drag excellence look, I felt it hit the category perfectly for drag excellence. The category. And you know why I'm repeating this too. Because some people are delusional. I'm getting tired of it. And it's like, girl, here you go with these passes again out of likability. Please stop doing that. And you need to be real with yourselves. Let's get to Miss Candy. Candy, this was not the category. And you know damn well it wasn't. Because your finale look was War for the Trains episode. Was it? Because if that was what we were going to get for the finale, it was going to be a Hayu booger chop, okay? But this here is not a bad look. I'm not going to read your look. I'm not reading it. It just wasn't the category. This actually looked decent. Was it sheer? What runway was it supposed to be for? Because this is not final runway, and y'all know that. Please don't play yourselves. Don't play yourself. I'll take the ratio. I don't give a fuck. This is not the goddamn category. Stop playing with me. This ain't it. And it's the final four, so they can't read you. So that's why it's like, okay, well, I guess we're just gonna let this roll through. And I think you knew that. Like, oh, they're not gonna get me, girls. The final four. This is only positive critiques, and we're so happy you're here. But outside of that, again, it's a decent look. I would have liked to have seen this on the proper runway it was supposed to be on. The wig was there. I was here for the makeup. I was not mad at how Candy looked. I just didn't. It was not the goddamn category. This is not drag excellence. Nope. Chop. It still was a good look. I just not the category. Next up is Rosé. Okay, so Rosé. I love the tartan. I do enjoy this good plaid moment here. It's gorgeous. These are the three things that I had a problem with this look. Okay, a belt does not make the dress. Okay, if you remember in the early 2000s, y'all remember these babies used to walk out, go to the store and buy some t-shirts, put a belt on it with some leggings and be like, this is a dress. No, mama, it's a t-shirt with a belt on it, okay? And you have leggings now. So now you've added to the assault to injury here. And I know this is a good 1-2 to the store, but a belt does not make the dress. So for me, the problem is that the whole, that big ass billowy fucking shit in the front that was kind of like obstructing the silhouette that was needed to give a shape in with all that fabric was causing a boxy moment for the body for me. Okay, that's what the issue was. It's a beautiful look, but I thought to myself, okay, all that fabric in the front is kind of fucking this up. If there was less of that and maybe something dripped over the shoulder or maybe pushed to the floor a little bit versus it being dead ass on this, I would have seen more of a shape. Because that little belt didn't do nothing for it. It was like, girl, what's happening here? Did she just pull that in and that was supposed to be it? But I was told by her drag mother, y'all know Miss Keisha Carr, she said, no, bitch, it was the fact that there was all that fabric on the front that caused the issue of it looking like a silk. She was corseted up. The wig for me desired another 2 inches in height for that building. I found it to be a medical center and I was looking for possibly a high-rise apartment was what I was looking for with that specific look. It actually was a really beautiful wig, but I felt it was heavy. It was a little heavy, baby. Yeah. Okay. I just said 2, right? I don't have a third. Yeah, I don't have a third one. That was just the 2 things I didn't like about it. But everything else I liked about it. I thought it was pretty pussy. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Now, Simone. I'm so glad I got this purple fan. Simone. The sleeves alone were just excellent. The fact that because of how long the sleeves were with the silhouette of the dress and how it was presented, when you closed your arms together, it gave more for that look. Just to stand there with the arms together and the sleeves to then sit on the dress. But then when you would move your arms, it would then add so much. It was like a dream to see that. When RuPaul made the Cicely Tyson reference, I totally got what she was talking about, especially like old Hollywood days when Cicely was going to the, when Cicely was there. Look up old Cicely Tyson pictures and very much how she used to look. It was very that with the short hair and the beautiful gowns. It was very her, very Cicely. So I thought that was like a really great reference that she gave. And I personally was here for this look. Gottmik and Simone were my tops of the night for sure. Like it was hard to choose between the 2 of them because Gottmik's was so interesting and new and fresh, and Simone's was like classic beauty. It was so classic and just regal and elegant. You know what I mean? So for me, those 2 were fighting for supremacy on the runway. I think Gottmik may edge out just a tad bit more only because of the originality of that look, but at the same time, Simone's was so clean it could not be touched. It was like, bitch, she came there. She did that. It was done. The hair was right with the jewels that were going down the braids. Bitch, come on. Like this shit was real. It was everything. I lived. This was, again, a decent runway. I just wish I felt bad for Candy because I'm not trying to be mean here, but it just was like, okay, girl, I don't feel like that fit the assignment, so it's hard to judge this compared to everybody in these gowns for a category called drag excellence. That was my issue. Everybody has gotten good critiques. This is what it's about. It's not about them being, okay, you didn't do this right for the fourth episode. It's legit. We're so proud of you. Then they show the pictures, okay? They show them their childhood photos, and everybody has a moment to then speak about their life experiences. I kid you not, once again, and not because it's her fault. That's the narrative. Candy story. They're gonna talk about you. They're gonna do this, but you're gonna fight through this. And when she said having a choice, I believe the choice was between happiness or this experience that she's on right now or going to jail. I felt that. I've been there, girl, because like I said, I related to Candy when she was jumped. I related to Candy for being bullied for how they sound and the way they speak or how the feminine actions and all this. I can relate. I can relate. So when she said that shit, I was like, oh, ding. That was me. Relate. Many a time that question. Okay. Now Rose's was very professional. Rose is such a great speaker. Like if all else fails, Rose could be a public speaker. Honestly, he has a great speaking voice. That joke towards the end, where girl, you might want to take that bow tie and put it in your head. I was like, oh, that's fun. That was fun. But again, a nice speech from the heart for Rose. Now let's get to Gottmik and Simone, because those were the two that stood out for me. Now with Gottmik, and RuPaul turned that picture over. So I was given permission. I have permission, right? This is, you at 2 years old. Now, bitch, I said, now I have my trans brothers and sisters who are my friends and my family that I love, but I don't know the experience. Do you understand me? So in that moment, didn't know if that was going to be triggerable for Gottmik or for the audience who was watching because of, again, history that took place, things that people sometimes can't just remove themselves from to then watch again. But it was like, ooh. And I felt my audience when we were in the Instagram live watching it, like, where is this going? Is this going to be disrespectful? Please, God. Because I felt that when RuPaul said that, it was like, okay, this is progress. Because I got permission to do this. Because Lord knows if they turned that picture over and Mama wasn't ready for that, that was going to be something. So I was here for that. But at the same time, I said, there was definitely a conversation prior to this whole moment happening where that needed to be discussed to make sure this was done correctly and that it wasn't going to come off as insensitive or gross. So when Gottmik addressed themselves as Cade, I felt warm in that spirit. It's like, that's your name, that's who you are. And their speech was chef's kiss to me. I'm very proud of Gottmik and this journey, as well as them being able to fully explain who they are. And I get it. You feel what I'm saying? It's not that because that they transition to a man or whatever, that they need to be this macho machismo guy. No. That's not the purpose of that. That's not what that is about. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own journey and their story and who they want to be. So I appreciated the way that was handled. Simone. Yeah, I'm dedicating time to this part because I know there are a bunch of people who felt what I felt last night because I cried, and I'm trying to not get tears thinking about your speech right now. I'm trying to get through this as we speak, but I'm gonna talk. So when Simone's words were, it was almost like she was just crying it through, but I said I was gonna do this right. I heard black, I heard gay, I heard feminine, and I lost my shit. Not everyone's story is like this, but I can say a lot of my brothers who are gay, who have been put in this box because of their femininity or the things that can be considered feminine. And the struggle to love yourself and to accept yourself is so hard and so difficult in the black community. As gay men, as trans women in the black community, as trans period, just being gay. And of course, there are the people, I didn't have that experience. Well, honey, I'm from the South, darling, and my experience was horrible. And I'm still fighting through those moments. And so when Simone started to like really get it out, it's like I felt that. I felt all of it. And that was so important. So I was appreciative of I'm sorry, excuse me. I was appreciative that those words were said with that much passion on the stage, because again, I moved back to Texas, and things I always see all the time out here in my own community are mask for mask only DL must act straightish, must you can't do this, or if you're in drag, discuss, like, ew, like the shit that I could read to y'all through dating apps, the shit I would see people be made fun of sometimes, while others are celebrating themselves fully and they don't give a fuck. And that's what's most important, is the fact that as a community, sometimes we can't even turn to our own brothers or our own sisters and be like, do you see me? Do you respect me? Do you understand me? So when Simone had the speech, and it's that you're not going to love yourself, you're not going to think that you're worthy of anything, but you are more powerful than you think, and you are already going to be a star and all this, bitch. When I tell you, I felt that. And that's something I've always dealt with now, even through YouTube and what I'm facing here, where I feel sometimes, because I'm black, gay, and a little feminine, that I'm not going to be, that it's going to try to hold me down. But in reality, I'm Matty, okay? I gotta do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Being myself, me being who I am, and staying authentic to me, my tears, my laughs, my jokes, and all of that, that's what's gotten me this far. That's what's continuing to propel me forward. And so I celebrate me now. I celebrate who I am, and I'm proud of me. I've done a lot of work on this, and we're still working on it. You're never done working on you. Okay, that should be always a constant in your life, is complete, is change. So Simone's speech touched my heart. It really did. I related 100%. And thank you, Simone. I love you, sister. And, appreciate, again, everybody giving themselves for us on the stage. This is a hard show. They're giving us them, you know what I mean? Or the best version of them that they believe should be on television. But they're giving us them. And that's important. So I did appreciate that speech, but Lord have mercy, I was crying like a baby last night. I was crying like a baby. Sweating after that emotion. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so after the deliberation takes place, the queens are then told they have to lip sync for their lives, and they're going to do it individually. Not four of them on stage crashing into each other, which I kind of appreciate now that I saw the edit that was done. They gave everybody camera time, so I was here for it. Like, okay, we get to see them individually, and we get to watch a full four-way lip sync, even though they're doing it just with themselves. The song is Learn from the Best from Whitney Houston. We do love a good Whitney Houston track. This was the club version. But still, it's a Whitney Houston track. And y'all know, and we talked about this with certain songs, not everything deserves a boom cat. Sometimes it really do need a boom cat, but not everything needs a boom cat. Somebody was boom catting tonight. Oh, you can take a wild guess who, but let's go. Got Mick, you did the assignment. I appreciate you. Rose, bitch, I learned from you. I said, oh, Rose was going for it. Rose hit that real quick. Sister knew. Rose, Rose knows the beat, and she knows the song. So when I tell you I was here for Rose, this lip sync, I was like, oh, bitch is coming for it. But when I say Simone did the Whitney Houston that I know and love, the Trinity K. Bonet Whitney Houston, because Trinity does a very, very, very good Whitney Houston. A very good Whitney Houston. Go see Trinity K. Bonet sometimes, babies, when you get a chance. And she do a Whitney performance, you're going to get a little towel, you're going to get that wrist, and you're going to get that wig. And sister will do all of the movements for you. So Simone was giving me Whitney. With the full on giving me a soulful church moment with the towel, bitch. I'm a little hot and sweaty, bitch, because I'm singing for my life here. Very Herb. I was here for Simone. Simone was eating it up too. Those three got the assignment. Now Candy, Matt's a hater. Whatever at this point. I'm sorry. There was. I wanted to get into her facial expressions when she was doing the song because I was trying to figure out if she was upset from something, because it seemed like she was upset with how her face looked. Like it was a lot of crying, almost. I don't know if she was just feeling the emotions or something, but it was like, girl, her face is a little distraught for the song that was getting me. Then she does this reveal that really wasn't a reveal. I mean, it was like the clear skirts off, turns around and does a just. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. But I wouldn't have called her the winner of this lip sync if we were doing an actual who should have won and why moment. I would have not put Candy in the top 2 of that one. I'm sorry. It didn't go with what I was seeing in my vision here. And I also think, again, if she was in the gown that she would have wore, okay. But Candy did what she did based on her outfit and her being able to move. And honey, she wanted to let the judges know I'm fighting for this. So hey, there you go. But but let's be clear here. Let's be clear here, everybody. I did not see this going into a top 3. I did not see anybody getting eliminated this episode. It was kind of evident within 10 minutes of the episode. No one's going home. Calls the queens forward. She says, if I call your name, please step forward. So it's like, oh shit, is someone going home? We knew better. It was literally in order. Got Mick, Candy Muse, Rose. The pause for Simone was severe. Like, even Candy was looking at Simone like, are we really about to do this today? Did I just make it? Did I just beat Simone for top 3? Was that what Candy was thinking? Oh, no. She probably was like dead ass. Like, I know they are not going to leave Simone here in the 4th position. I know we're not doing this today. So then she calls Simone. And of course, you see in Simone's face when she starts smiling, like, girl, they ain't sending none of us home. And they didn't. So top 4 is now Final 4, which it already was, which is now Grand Finale Final 4. Whose team are you on, everybody? Who are you rooting for to win? Stay tuned. I'm not saying anybody's name just yet. I'm giving this... Let me wait till we get to that episode, which will be 2 weeks from now, because we have a reunion to get to first, and then we have the grand finale. So, and the reunion is going to be via Zoom, but the grand finale, it looks like they actually are going to do like a live finale, so that should be interesting. Tell me what you thought of this week's episode, everybody. Were you in love? Were you lucky to watch it? Were you lucky? Did you feel lucky? What you think of the runways? What you think of the performance? What you think of the song? What you think of everything that happened this week? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning. Let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel, everybody. Do me a favor and hit that like button before you leave. Share and subscribe as well. Catch me Sunday for the panel. We have a couple of stereo podcasts coming up this week as well with Dooley, and I think Blake Keisha will be back from vacation. C. Diggy 1 and I now have a new podcast on stereo, and of course the Matt and Mar show is around the corner. I'm a busy motherfucker. Shut your mouth. I'm only talking about me. Thanks everybody again for tuning in. Hugs and kisses, my best love and wishes to you. I'll see you Sunday. Peace. It's your boy Matty Rants. Talk to you then.